It's Roy Cannaday from Epic Gaming Night, and today we're going to be taking a look at a small little Civ game called Guns and Steel. Guns and Steel is a compact civilization building game for 2 to 4 players. Each player starts the game with a hand of the exact same 5 cards. Each card has icons showing the card's special ability, but there's also text at the bottom explaining how the card works. On your turn, you'll first choose a card from your hand to place face down as a resource. Then you'll choose one of your cards to play and activate that card's special ability. In your starting hand, you'll have 2 different types of cards that you can use for resources to purchase other cards. To purchase a card, you will pay the resource cost on the right side of the card by flipping over any of those resources you currently have face down, or by using abilities that give you extra resources. You can only purchase cards that have no cards underneath them in the pyramid, but as more cards get bought, they unlock new cards for you to be able to add to your civilization. When cards are purchased, they go face up in front of you on the table like your other already activated abilities. At the end of a turn, when you only have 1 or 0 cards left in your hand, you'll take all the face-up cards that you have and put them back into your hand. You can choose any face-down resources to go back into your hand, or you can leave them as resources on the table. Cards come with all sorts of different abilities to allow you to manipulate your resources, flip cards over back and forth, and to try to help your economy to get better cards. Normally you would need iron and a horse to be able to purchase the guild card, but with barter trade, you can convert your food into iron to be able to purchase it. There are also attack cards that you can play that can interrupt your opponent's playstyle. So when you play an attack card, you compare your attack value, the little axes on the left-hand side of the card, with your opponent's. If you have more attack, then your attack card goes off and affects all opponents with lower attack values. There are also cards with response icons. Normally these will be other attack cards or tactics, and these are allowed to be played out of turn in response to someone attacking you. They can boost your attack strength so that way their effect doesn't trigger, and they can also do other abilities as well. There's all kinds of different special abilities across all the cards in Guns and Steel. Figuring out how to best build an engine and utilize your special abilities on your cards is the way to victory. There are 2 different wonder cards that are set beside the pyramid for each level. You will keep one of these in play, and the other will be returned to the box during setup. At the end of your turn, you are able to claim any of the wonders that you are eligible for. The Hanging Gardens, you need to have at least 2 face-down horse resources. You add to that the number of cards left in that level of the pyramid. So in this case, you would need 3 horse resources to be able to claim the Hanging Gardens. And if you have that at the end of your turn, you're able to claim the card, which is worth victory points at the end of the game. The game ends when either the 3 space cards at the top of the pyramid have been claimed, or someone has claimed the last wonder, ending the game. Then players count up all the victory points on all of their cards and wonders. The player with the most victory points has the strongest civilization, becoming the winner of the game. Guns and Steel is definitely an interesting game. It's awesome how they can pack so much in a tiny little box, but really every single turn all you're doing is just putting out one card as a resource and then playing the action on the other card, and you're just trying to figure out how to get the correct resources to be able to get the different cards out of the pyramid. You're kind of racing your opponent because you're trying to get the correct cards to try to like set up your little engine building combos, but also trying to not unlock the cards you don't want your opponents to have. There's a lot of take that in this game with the different attack cards, and you have to try to make sure you keep up your attack cards that you have in play strong so your opponents can't play all the attack cards on you. There's definitely a lot of take that as you're going back and forth and stealing the wonders back and forth from each other, and then also like flipping over their resources so that they have to like recoup them and like do different things. So if you're not into a whole lot of like take that and things like that, this game might not be for you. And also the pyramid of cards is really the same each time you play the game. They're just kind of like in different orders, and different cards will kind of be locked under different cards. It's still interesting how there's like different ways to get victory points with the 2 different wonders each time you play. You can mix up. So the goals for each like tier of the pyramid are not always the same, but it's still not a whole lot of variety in the game. But it's definitely interesting how they can fit such a the amount of like depth and engine building in just this like small pack of cards. I think that's actually really exciting, and the strong points of the game, how much they've done with the small amount and the small space that this game takes up. And I think the whole engine building aspect of it, of flipping cards back and forth and trying to play them out in the correct order to be able to get the stuff before your opponents, there's definitely an aspect too of like working to try to get a specific thing and your opponent grabbing it before you do, so that way you get like messed up and not able to get the things you want. That definitely happened to me the few times that I played this game, where we were both going for the same thing and they got there before I did, and then I had the resources wrong to try to go for the next thing. So it's definitely very interesting, the back and forth in this game. But yeah, if you want a quick little Civ game that fits in a tiny little box that you can basically put in your backpack or your back pocket, make sure to check out Guns and Steel. And this has been Roy Cannaday from Epic Gaming Night. Make sure to check out all our other reviews, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.